how's everybody? Hope everybody's got their cuppa like I just suggested, and we are now live and good to go. Thank you for joining me. My name is Hayden Karodis. I am the social media tech champion for the Digital Culture Network. I look after the Southeast of England. So without further ado, do some housekeeping. So just to let you know that the wonderful Roberta is on YouTube right now with you guys. So if you have any comments or any questions throughout the presentation, please do just drop them there and Roberta will share them with me later. Or maybe you just want to talk to each other. Yeah, feel free to just have a chit chat in the comment segment. Also, this is my third and last social media platform webinar. So if you guys would like to know anything else about social media or would like me to focus on anything else going forward with webinars, please do drop a comment in the captions as well. Okay. If you've been joining us from the Leeds Digital Festival, thank you for joining us. If you found us through that platform, then thank you for joining us today. And then last bit of housekeeping news is that we are being closed captioned. This webinar's been live, closed captioned live. Yes. Anyway, we're using closed caption on this webinar. So if you would like to use closed caption to follow on, just click on the CC on YouTube now. Okay. So this webinar, I will talk about what is TikTok. I will dispel some of the TikTok myths. We'll show you how to use TikTok, very top level. I'll then give you a few quick examples of arts and culture and the way that they've used TikTok or the way TikTok have partnered with arts and culture organizations. Then we've got Joe Duggan from the National Youth Theatre who will show you how National Youth Theatre have used TikTok and the great success they've had. That'll be followed by questions. We'll probably have a few 5 or 10 minutes towards the end to answer any questions. And then there'll be final thoughts from me, okay? So without further ado, we're going to talk about TikTok and the myths about the platform. So what is it in this segment we're going to cover? Let's talk about myth number 1 is it's only for Gen Z. We'll cover myth number 2, it's all about dancing. And we'll also cover myth number 3, that it's got a low engagement platform, okay? So what is TikTok? It's fundamentally a platform for short form video, okay? Short form video is anything between 3 to 60 seconds long. So it's really quick and really reactive and really on the go. And then it's a platform for authentic content. And then finally, sound, music, sound bites, original audio is something that really is a feature that no other social media platform really takes advantage of like TikTok does, okay? So these are in a nutshell what TikTok is all about, okay? So before we go any further, I'll just quickly describe or explain to you what Gen Z is. So Gen Z is the generation after millennials. So that's anybody born between 1997 to 2012, okay? So I know you're thinking if you can do the maths now, well done, put it in the comments, but that would make you anybody between the age of 8 and 23. So that's generally seen as Gen Z. So myth number 1, the platform's only for Gen Z. As you can see here, this is Dancing Dads. And there's quite a few of them on the screen here. What this myth has come from is that there's only for Gen Z, but this is what tends to happen with TikTok is that a lot of young people or family members or kids or parents tend to get their family members involved with the content. So when they get them involved with the content, what tends to happen is that the parent will often sign up with the platform as well, so they can see the platform, or the family member will sign up to the platform so they can see the video content that's being shared. And that tends to mean that they stay on the platform as well because of the way the platform starts to share them content. So what you'll find is you'll have lots of people who are on the platform who have joined because of families or because they do family entertainment together, okay? What you also find to get now is once parents are on the platform, they start to make their own videos because they start to enjoy it and start to create their own content themselves. And as you can see here from Dancing Dads, there's quite a few people who are parents who are making their own videos these days, which basically means that they're also on the platform as well, which means they're potentially an audience for you to reach out to. Myth number 2 is only for people who like to dance. Now, again, we understand why this myth's out there, but TikTok is very much about a platform about creativity and trying to share information and knowledge, okay? So there's lots of different elements to it. They've got a segment called EduTalk, which is something where they're really trying to push where you can learn different things and different subject matters and different skill sets and different crafts, etc. As you can see, they've got the Learn on TikTok banner at the top of their page there. You can find lots of things like life hacks, career advice, And the way that I kind of describe it, or it might not have been me, I think I might have been Mark Zuckerberg actually, described it as a bite-sized YouTube. So it's a smaller version of YouTube. So anything that you're looking for on YouTube in terms of career advice or how-to videos, etc., those kind of things you can all find on TikTok. So it's more than just about dancing. There's loads of different communities and lots of different ways that you can learn and create content on the platform, okay? And then another myth is that it's got really low engagement. Now, this is probably based on the fact that because the videos are really short, people assume that there's low engagement on the platform. But again, this is not very true. According to TikTok, the average time spent on the platform is between 46 to 52 minutes, which is very easily believable because of the way they curate content for its users. They really try to create content that you like and that you really engage with. They also say that people tend to come back to the platform 6 to 8 times a day. So again, there's a lot of people returning. Not only are they staying on the page for long, the platform for long, but they're returning back to the platform multiple times throughout the day to catch up and get their fill of TikTok. The algorithm is really powerful, as I touched on before. So when you favorite content, or if you favorite a sound, or if you start to follow certain content creators, the algorithm really tries to service you content that is relevant to you and that you will actually engage with and that you'll enjoy. Now, every social media platform does this, if I'm being honest with you, but TikTok really pride themselves on the fact that they've got a really powerful algorithm that really seems to push the right content towards you, content that you want to engage with. And that would really play into the idea that people spend average of 46 to 52 minutes on the platform. And like I said before, it has lots of thriving communities. So there's loads of different communities on there. If there's something that you're interested in or something you want to try and do, the chances are that there's a community on there for you, okay? So here's a couple of examples. So this, as you can see, this art TikTok hashtag here has had over 204 million views. Or been used. So as you can see from that, just from these examples here, there's loads of people who are engaging with content in a different way that's not dance, okay? I gave an example of monologues here. If you're a theatre, maybe you're a theatre organization and you're trying to figure out how to share a new story or a new play or a new show that you're coming up, you could potentially do monologues and give examples of you doing a monologue and see how your audience engages with that. And again, as you can see, there's loads of people who are already on the platform and are using it in that way. So this is a really creative and easy way for you to get involved. And I can't stress it enough. As you can see, when I talked about earlier about it being an authentic platform, most people are using this. They're using their mobile phone to create the content that really thrives and really does really well on the platform. So you don't need to be creating high-end content to be doing it. You can really create a great platform just from using your mobile phone. So how to use TikTok. So I'm going to start with the things to consider when starting out. Then we're going to look at the platform's key features, okay? So when starting out, one thing you have to really think about is, do you have the personality? Do you have in your organization somebody who has a bright personality or has a personality that will be able to showcase and shine a light on your work? TikTok is a platform about fun and creativity and finding really exciting ways to communicate with audiences. So really take that into consideration when you're trying to find somebody to maybe be the face of your platform or when you're creating content in the first place, okay? So like I said, personality is a key driver in TikTok. You can have a small following and grow it really quickly. Now, a lot of social media platforms, although TikTok is not that new, when they're growing, you do tend to be able to grow your audiences quite quickly because they want people to come on the platform. This will probably change as they start to roll out their ad platforms, which they're already starting to do. So now is a really great time to get on the platform and really grow a community in a quick and organic way, okay? You can use visual and audio content. Now, again, I can't stress this enough. This is something that you can do on a lot of platforms, but the way TikTok use visuals and the way they use audio content is really unique to the platform. And it's something that as curators from the arts and culture sector that we should really take to and really think about, okay, how can we start to be creative? How can we start to use these different tool sets of video or sound bites or audio or music in a way that's going to really engage in the audience and really open us up to new people. So I thought this is a good example of somebody who's using TikTok. So Dan Helps is just a content curator on the platform. What I liked about this video is the fact that TikTok is about trends. So if you can plan your content and really think about situations or pop culture moments or relevant life situations that other people can buy into, you can really start to build an audience on TikTok. So on this one, Dan knows Lion King's coming out, so he does a quick piece of content about Lion King.
Let's get ready for Lion King with the Roar Challenge. Empty paper towel roll, a snort, and a hiss. Your turn.
Now that was a really easy piece of content. He's literally sitting in his car. He's probably got his phone on his dashboard, and he's literally just got an empty paper, empty roll, tissue roll, tube. So, and just from doing that, he's created a piece of relevant content. It was timely for when Lion King came out, so that it might have probably been trending on the platform. And it's just something that shows you how easy you can create a piece of content that works on the platform. And again, all they're using is their mobile phone. Okay. So that is something that you really have to think about as an organization. Can you be reactive? Are you an organization that can be reactive? Are you an organization that has a lot of sign-off procedures before you can create content? These are the things that you're going to probably need to think about once you're joining TikTok, because if this is the way you're set up, you may have to need a whole new internal process so that you can really get the real benefits and the real gold from using a platform like TikTok. Okay. Patience can be a virtue. So another thing that's really unique about TikTok, and that's again something that you don't really see with a lot of the other social media platforms, is if I post on Instagram or post on Facebook or Twitter, what have you, the life of that post is normally a day. If you're lucky, 2 days if the post is done really well and really picked up a lot of steam. On TikTok, you can post something today, and 5 days, a week, 2 weeks later, it can end up on the discover page. Just due to algorithms, so that I don't actually know why it happens like that, but that is something that happens quite frequently on the platform, which would be based the algorithm in the way people engage with the piece of content. Okay, so it doesn't really put a lot of emphasis on when you post. So that's something that you can take into consideration when you're posting. Don't necessarily worry if it hasn't immediately done really well, because it might pick up steam. Trends, and more trends. TikTok is a platform about trends. It's literally about sounds that are trending, about music that are trending, that the hashtags are trending. As an organization, can you buy into this? Can you play into the different trends that are happening and create content around them that would be relevant not only to your organization, but would be also relevant to the audiences that are looking or following the certain trends? So it's just something, again, that you need to think about. And again, what I was talking about earlier about what's your internal process and sign off, because if there's something trending that is relevant, can you create a piece of content straight away that will engage the audiences and that will grow your following base or grow your views on the platform? And as I said, content can appear on discover page days, weeks after first posting. Okay. So again, I thought this was a really good example. Now, I'm terrible at maths, so I thought this would be a great example to show you a quick maths example from somebody, which is a different piece of content type. Again, filmed with their phone, really easily done, performed really well. Now, a few weeks ago when I was creating this deck, this was the first video that came up on my TikTok page. When I looked at it, it was literally posted 6 days before, and this was the first video that came onto my page. So again, just an example of content that really lives on after.
This is a Maths GCSE higher question. So all I'm told is that these are 3 regular pentagons, so each of them are 5-sided. Okay, now I know to work out an exterior angle, I do 360 divided by the number of sides, which is here 5, which would give me 72. Now 72 is the size of each exterior angle for a 5-sided shape. Now exterior and interior on a straight line, so I do 180 take away 72, which gives me 108. So each interior angle is 108. Therefore, this is 108, this is 108, and this is 108. Now angles on a straight line add up to 360 degrees. Always, sorry, angles are on a point. These 3 are around a point. I'm going to do 108 plus 108 plus 108, it will give me 324 degrees. I'll do 360 take away 324 degrees, and I get 36 degrees. So my x value here is equal to 36 degrees. That's how to do angles in polygons.
Now, I love that piece of content. I still don't know how to do angles and polygons, but that was brilliant. And why I showed you that again is because, as you can see, that was 46 seconds. So it was really quick, but they gave you a lot of information. It was really informative and it's performed really well. And it's not a dance video and it's filmed using their mobile phone. So again, as a creative and as an arts and culture organization, you can start to really think about how can I be creative, or how can I inform, or how can I educate my audience really quickly in snappy ways that's going to be useful for them or entertaining to them, okay?
This is a master.
So now we'll talk about the platform key features. To me, there's 5 key features that I'm going to touch on very briefly because of the nature of this webinar. So it's the Discover page, it's challenges, it's videos, it's music, and it's duets. And these five features are, for me, the nuts and bolts of the platform and the things that really drive it, okay? So the Discover page. As I touched on before, the Discover page is really tailored for you. So the more you interact and the more you engage with different people, different followers, and like comments and leave comments and like and favorite videos or sounds, the more content that you're going to get that's relevant to what you like, okay? You can search by keywords, the different users, sounds, and videos. So imagine being able to search by sound. So if there's certain, you'll often see people do famous film scenes, for example, on TikTok. So there'll be a sound clip from a favorite film scene and people will recreate it, for example. So there's, again, a really creative ways you can use sound and video on the platform. And then trending topics and content, again, so when you're looking at the Discover page, you will see the fact that all of these different trending topics and all of the content that's trending. And again, as I touched on earlier, can you be reactive? Can you engage with this content? Can you create your own versions using your mobile phone? So using the hashtags, as you can see here, so it's the trending hashtag. It's called the time warp scan, and it's been viewed 25 million times, or used 25 million times. Then you've got music hashtags. Again, this is a trending sound, sorry. It's been used 5.8 million times. So again, this really shows you that you can really go through the platform, find sounds that will work for you. You can find trends that might work for you. You can find grandparent goals. Like you can find different information and different communities that will really sync with what you're trying to do as an organization and really create a synergy between your content and the content that you're putting on the platform. So another platform key feature is TikTok challenges. So what TikTok tries to do is they create challenges that really brings their community together and that encourages them to be creative, okay? So they're normally challenges that are set by TikTok, and they can be across a whole variety of different things. As I said before, it's used to inspire the community and to the community to get creative. Again, using their mobile phone, they're never normally something that you can't do at home or with your mobile. And the aim is to basically to spread global pop culture moments. So when I say this, that basically means they're always going to be around big elements or big events. So for example, Oscars is coming up. So I'm sure there may be something to do with films around the Oscars, as an example. And so again, it's something that you need to think about. Can you enjoy and engage with this content? Can you create content around these moments? Can you create your own challenges and set them to your audiences to get involved with? So it's a platform of creativity. It's a platform where if you're a creative thinker, you can really get the most out of it. So videos, you can upload your own or make it in app. One thing I would say about when you're uploading your own videos, making sure that it fits the nature of the platform and its content that aligns with the rest of the content on the platform. If it's a super high-end video, for example, maybe you want to consider using some of the features of TikTok just to bring it more in line with the content that's already on the platform. You can stop and start recording. So if you remember at the beginning when I showed my intro to TikTok, I shot it in 3 or 4 different segments so I could do different elements. I had the Welcome to Beginners. I had the book, the pen, and the book in the pen, and I had my cup of tea, which I'm gonna have a sip of now. But by allowing you to do that, it allows you to edit together a really cool piece of content that you can very quickly load to the platform. And then finally, you can live stream. Now you can only live stream if you have 1,000 followers and you have to be over 16. So, but on the whole, again, live stream works exactly the same as any other platform that you live stream. So this is what you'll see when you come on the screen. Obviously, you won't see me, but you will see yourself reflected back on the screen. And this is basically when you're creating your first video or creating a piece of content for the platform. Now, the features of TikTok, there really are a lot of features. I'm not going to go into all of them now. I'm just going to give you the very basics, but there's so much you can do with the platform, okay? So this is the very basically, you can record yourself as you would do on any other platform. So you've got option of 15 seconds or 60 seconds. There's a whole plethora of effects. When I mean there's so many effects that you can really play around with and really edit your video and add to your video. So if you remember in the beginning, when I shared my cup of tea, it split into 9 different screens. That was an effect from TikTok, okay? So again, there's loads of different things you can do in it. There's templates. Now, what a template works out, I don't know if anybody's ever used iMovie or anything of that nature, or even when you're on your iPhone, when sometimes your iPhone makes videos for you from your photos and stuff, you can basically just add your own videos or your own photos, and TikTok will give you a template and make a little movie for you out of that, out of the content you've added. You can upload your content very simply, like you do again normally, right there, okay? And then these are the items down the side. So you can flip the screen, which is again standard on most social media platforms where you use your camera. Just flip it towards you or outwardly. Speed, so this speeds up your content. So if you're filming, you want to make it go really fast, or if you want to slow it down. That was terrible, but yes, you're with me. You can do that as well. It's got beauty. Now this is a bit of a funny filter. It basically makes your face chiseled and gives you European looks. But yeah, so that's what that particular one does. And then we've got filters, and it just gives you loads of different colorways and different filters and images you can put on your posters and put in your videos and put in your pictures. And then finally, timer. So what the timer does is it basically gives you a timer, a countdown for when your video is going to start. So you can do 3 seconds, 10 seconds, etc. So one of the great features that I like about once you've decided to use the different features on the platform is you can pin your copy. So again, if you remember back to the beginning when I played my first video, I had welcome to TikTok for beginners, so I could pin that piece of copy and then edit it in the video so that the copy left and stayed on the screen for a certain amount of time and then left when I didn't want it on again. So again, it's a really cool way of editing the content. What I would say, if you're new to the platform, is that unless you're doing something very basic, that's just like filming yourself directly, there is a bit of a learning curve to get used to using all the different features and using the different effects, etc., etc. So have fun with it, play around with it for a while, get used to using the platform, using the videos, using the editing features until you're comfortable using different effects on it accordingly. Okay, you can, I mean, there's so many effects. You can add green screen, you can put your photos behind you. There's so many things you can do with it. So just have fun with it, play with it, get used to the platform, and then go. Music. So there's lots of licensed music, and you can upload your music to TikTok via digital services. Same way you maybe upload music to Spotify, etc., etc. Now you can do the same thing by uploading it to add TikTok to one of the platforms you upload your music to. You can save songs and sounds to make content. So again, this is another great way. Again, you can get creative. If you come across a certain song or a certain sound or a certain noise that you really like that you want to create a piece of content for, you can favorite it or save it for later and come back and create a piece of content for it. Okay. And there's something for everyone. And when I mean there's something for everyone, there's literally so much music or so many different sounds on this platform. It's really, really incredible. So as you can see here, you've got UK Hot 40, pop hits, happy. You've got music for pets. You've got remixes, born in the 80s, memes, arts and crafts. So there's so many different playlists and so much different music and sounds on the platform that you really shouldn't be able, you shouldn't be able to not find something for you. And again, it plays into that creativity. How creative can you be? And that's where you're going to really get the best out of this platform, is when you start to think on your feet and think about how to be creative and have fun and be engaging or be educational using these different, all of the different features on the platform. So one of my favorite platform features is Duets. And so what basically Duets does, it basically allows you to sample someone else's video and add yourself to it, okay? So what you can do is you can just collaborate. So what happens is when you shoot a video, it will ask you, do you want to, can this video be allowed to, can people duet with this video? So once you upload it, your audience can then get involved in the video and duet with it, or etc., etc. So what that basically means is someone can create a spoof, or they can create a reaction video, or they can join into the video. So it's a really cool way of just using the platform again. And again, you can use it to educate and loads more, okay? I mean, a good example of that, let's say, for example, you did a duet with the math video that I showed earlier. Maybe you'd go into more detail, or maybe you would showcase another math equation based off of what the young lady was talking about. So again, it's just a really cool way of engaging and creating user-generated content and really engaging with your audience. And I've got a great example coming up.
New acting challenge, duet me. You are the blue line. What happened? What's wrong? Oh my. You were supposed to go straight home. You and I were literally on the phone. We were on the phone 10 minutes ago. Okay, so what are you gonna do? Script acting challenge, you may get featured on my page.
So Elena is a popular TikToker, content creator on the platform. So she's given this challenge and she's made other people go out and duet her. And so this is an example of what a duet would look like.
New acting challenge, duet me. You are the blue line.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
What happened? What's wrong?
Look what I did, look what I did, look what I freaking did!
You were supposed to go straight home. You and I were
Look, I
literally
was on my way home. We just happened to, you know, look, it's already done, okay? It's already done.
Okay, so what are you gonna do?
I don't know.
Now, I don't know about you, but I was on the edge of my seat. I really enjoyed that. And what I mean by this is that, again, if you're an organization, say you're a theatre organization or a poet or something of that nature, you can create so many unique bits of content and really engaging content in ways that you probably couldn't really do on other social media platforms. And you could do it if you've got a show coming up, you could do a famous line from the show or a famous piece from the show to really engage with your audience. And instead of trying to sell the show straight away, you could just do famous lines like that and get them to duet with you and go back and forth with you. You could potentially hold auditions on it, which we'll come to later. So here are a couple examples of arts and culture organizations who have used TikTok or who have partnered with TikTok over the last year or so. So BFI, they did a partnership for the Future Film Festival. So what TikTok ran a hashtag challenge, a competition, and they hosted a workshop in collaboration with the BFI. The Saatchi Gallery did an exhibit. So TikTok did some influencer marketing. They got some of their relevant content curators to go down to the exhibit and vlog via TikTok and showcase what's happening at the exhibit. Then Youth Music had an award show, which they did in partnership with TikTok. And in the run up to the award show, TikTok did a hashtag challenge called Music Shape Me, which again helped spread and raise awareness about the award show and about Youth Music Awards. But who better to talk to you about what a partnership looks like with TikTok than Joe himself. So I'm going to now hand us over to Joe, who will actually start to give you a little explanation about how National Youth Theatre have used TikTok. Okay.
Great.
There
Thanks, Hayden.
No problem.
Hey everyone, I'm Joe Duggan. I'm the Head of Communications and Digital at National Youth Theatre. And yeah, I'm going to talk you through some of the ways we've been using TikTok. A lot of what Hayden was saying was really ringing true there. And yeah, so here we go. So we formed a relationship with TikTok in 2019. And the purpose of our partnership is really about reaching new creative talent and inspiring young people. So I don't know if you know the National Youth Theatre, we work with young people aged 14 to 25, and we look to discover and nurture young talent, and it felt like there was real synergy with TikTok. And yeah, over the last sort of 6-8 months, we've really learned a lot about what works on the platform for us and what doesn't. And on the left here are some examples of some of our content that we posted quite early on. And I'm just going to talk through a bit about what's worked well, what hasn't worked, what we've learned, what we're still learning, and happy to take any questions about our sort of journey with TikTok so far at the end, if that's useful. So the first thing that we did with TikTok was a hashtag challenge, as Hayden was talking about earlier. So we collaborated with them to create a hashtag challenge that was hashtag MYT Find Your Stage. And that was about us. We launched Digital Auditions for the first time this year, which proved to be very useful once COVID-19 hit. And Digital Auditions became a big part of what we did and a lot of other drama schools and organizations as well. So it was a hashtag MYT Find Your Stage, and we asked people to submit a song, a story, a piece of spoken word, a joke, quite sort of informal, more informal than our usual audition process. And we offered to give away 120 auditions to people who submitted content that we like the look of. And as you see from the top right, we got the content that was submitted to this hashtag challenge got 13.8 million views, which was huge for us in terms of numbers, and also enabled us to find some really interesting new talent. And one of the pieces of feedback that I've listed there from someone who auditioned in this way was them saying they'd never heard of us before, but they saw this hashtag challenge, and they actually looked at our auditions on our website and they were too far away. I think they were based in the middle of Northern Ireland, and instead auditioned by this route and were successful and have now joined the National Youth Theatre. So I think what's really obvious to us is that there are a lot of young, creative, talented people on TikTok, often making brilliant, funny videos or powerful videos in their bedroom at home and being creative, and might have nothing to do with arts or cultural organisations that are sort of formally publicly funded. And so this partnership is us trying to reach a new audience who haven't heard of us yet and might benefit from some of our opportunities. So after our hashtag challenge, I thought I'd talk about our sort of lockdown content, and I'm sure a lot of you will have seen a lot of TikTok stuff on during lockdown, with lots of families getting involved, as Hayden was saying. But I'll just talk about a few things we made, some that worked well. So we use the duet function to duet on the Matt Lucas video. So Matt Lucas, in quite a nice way, collaboration, is a National Youth Theatre alumnus and patron. And he created a song that I'm sure many of you heard during lockdown about baked potatoes to raise money for the NHS. And we encouraged some of our members to duet with him on our TikTok channel. And I think one of the key successes, I'd say, with our relationship with TikTok has been giving our TikTok channel over to young people. And we have some guidelines in place, and we give the channel over for a certain amount of time or for a certain piece of content. But yeah, this one, for example, got 30,000 views and was a really nice way of showcasing one of our members. I'll play you a short little piece of that now.
Showed me the way. You must listen to what potatoes say.
So anyone can duet with Matt Lucas on this video. It wasn't a sort of special arranged thing with us. But Matt got in touch with Holly, who sang on social media, and thanked her and said he was really impressed. So yeah, that got a load of views, was fun, really easy to do, and a nice way to show off some of our membership talent. We also did some dance tutorials. I'd echo, TikTok isn't a dance platform only, but we did a production of Midsummer Night's Dream with some great choreography in at the end of last year, and we got one of the performers to teach the dance on TikTok from their bedroom during lockdown, and that proved to be a really nice piece of content. As I mentioned, members takeovers have been really successful. This is Nyla, who is a TikTok whiz and knows all the tricks and is much better than me at TikTok, and she's been creating videos for us. So when our results came out, we did a video that was sort of giving people advice on, how to deal with getting their result and how to get the right information. And I'd say echo that thing about trends being really important and following trends used on TikTok, not just recycling your content from other platforms. We've found when we've done that, it's not been that successful, but when we've engaged with TikTok trends, that's been much more successful. And not feeling pressure to respond to every trend or for everything having to be on TikTok, but I think like finding the things that feel right and going for it and enjoying it and having a go and like learning. I think we've learned a lot by what hasn't worked as much as what has. The next thing we've been doing on TikTok is live educational drama workshops. And yeah, there's a lot of cool educational stuff happening on TikTok. So we offered a series of live streamed workshops. And as you'll see, it's sort of the live stream looks quite similar to Instagram with a scrolling text chat. And we had an NYT moderator in the chat to sort of answer questions while somebody ran a workshop. We did 6 of these and we found programming them at the same time every week worked really well. So we sort of did an after school drama club type session at 5 p.m. This was another one run by Mumba. And yeah, and we reached over 3,000 people across the 6 live workshops. And it was a bit of an experiment, but it felt like a really nice way to offer something out while a lot of drama classes were closed during lockdown. And we got really good engagement, and I think it's something we'll definitely do again in future. And yeah, we got nice comments of people going there. Youth theatre couldn't take place because of restrictions, so this was a good way for them to engage. And I wanted to show you, like, so one of the things that worked well for us, we asked the people running these workshops to create really short videos on our channels to help promote them. And here's an example of someone who'd never used TikTok before, who this was the first thing he did. He was running a comedy masterclass. Oh, let's just, thank you, Matt Lucas. Yeah, so this is the first thing he did on TikTok, and I'll play this now. I'm not sure, I hope that works. But yeah, that was an example of someone just using one of the functions where you got turned into a clown, and it was him having a little fun using one of the TikTok in-app functions and getting 30,000 views for his video. I also wanted to use a bit of a case study and show you one of our members, Megan Bolton, who joined National Youth Theatre in 2018. She also joined the TikTok app at a similar time and has been sort of going on a journey with us and TikTok since then. And Megan basically makes like comedy sketch videos, and her sort of iconic thing is different types of people. But as you can see, she's got 1.1 million followers now and 61 million likes on her films. And so we've been working with her to create some content for our channel and also to promote some of the stuff we're doing. So sort of working with it in an influencer capacity. And I'd say really encourage you to think about who in your network is already on TikTok, or who in your shows or in your organization. Yeah, and I think it's funny thinking about Matt Lucas started out in National Youth Theatre, and you wonder if the next people following in his kind of route might actually be making content on TikTok right now. So a few lessons learned. As I said, engage with in-app trends, don't just recycle content from other platforms. I think original, authentic and personal, I'd really echo that, and personality. Putting stuff up that feels really salesy or putting up content that feels too overproduced hasn't been that successful for us. I'll show you another example of a film we made that responded to a trend that I think worked quite well. So one of the big trends on TikTok was the Don't Rush challenge, which was a song called Don't Rush. And we were creating a film during lockdown with some of our young people where they all filmed themselves in their homes, and we turned it into a film that we premiered and shared instead of their kind of end of year stage show. And we incorporated the Don't Rush challenge into that show and used it to introduce the cast to the public when we announced the show. So I'm just going to show you that now. Here's a little bit of that. So that's a bit of content that we created with a video editor, but very much using the style of TikTok and a trend in order to announce a cast in a different way. And yeah, finally, I wanted to say I totally echo Hayden's comments about it not just being a dance or a comedy platform. And one of the other projects we're working on at the moment is Melt, a big 3-year environmental project in response to the climate crisis. And we've started to create some environmental content on our TikTok channel that's performed really well. And there's a big eco TikTok community. Equally, like as you saw with the maths thing that Hayden shared earlier, there's a real sort of educational momentum on TikTok, and history is another thing that people a lot use 60-second videos to teach history. So we're thinking about a heritage project as well. But yeah, that's a quick overview of some of the things we've been doing on TikTok, and I'm happy to answer any questions alongside Hayden that anyone has. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. That was brilliant. Thank you for that, Joe. What I will do for everybody is I will share the links to some of Joe's examples when we send through the next deck after the presentation, after we finish the webinar. So you'll get that in the next few days or so. Okay. We're now going to move on to questions. So let me get my screen back up. So I'm now going to see if there's any questions. So questions have been received so far. Do you need to have a high level of regular posting to attract viewers, i.e. several times a day? That is a very good question. I would say, like any social media platform, that if the more presence you have on the platform, the more likely you're going to get a bigger audience, and the more content you can post. So I wouldn't say how I normally manage that kind of question on any other platform is think about what you're trying to achieve. If growth is what you're looking for, then you're going to need to post more frequently. If it's audience engagement, then you're going to have to consider, okay, we're trying to achieve audience engagement, and if we post once a week, that works for us because of our objectives. Or if you're trying to say we're trying to increase our audience engagement by X amount, you may need to post 2, 3, 4 times a week. So it really comes down to whatever your objectives are. I don't know, Joe, did you have any thought on that? Or
yeah, I'd agree. The more the merrier. But equally, I think with any platform, if you sort of set your audience's expectations of how regularly you're going to post, and if you keep that regular, even if it's not 3 times a day, you know, if it's that you share things at a certain time every week, or you know, every couple of days, yeah, I think just because you're a small organization doesn't mean that you can't use TikTok, or just because you don't have a dedicated social media team or staff member. We don't at National Youth Theatre, and we've still found ways of engaging a new audience there.
So another question we've got is from News International Encounter. Says, sometimes you see TikTok videos posted across other platforms. Do you recommend this, or should the video stay on the platform? So as you saw, I had the videos on my as part of my presentation. That's a really unique and good feature of TikTok, is that you can actually download nearly all of the content yourself and share it to other platforms as a creator or as a viewer. Now, if your content is performing well, then why not? You can repurpose it and use it. Then I don't see why not. Other platforms are allowing people to share content, TikTok content on their platforms. Then I don't see why not. You'll see a lot of, especially now that Instagram has Reels, you see a lot of content where people have taken their TikTok videos and literally just uploaded them to Instagram as part of Reels. So if the content's done well on one platform, there's a likelihood that it might do well somewhere else. One thing I would say about TikTok is, if you feel that the platform's not quite a platform that you're ready to engage with now, I always believe that what you can do from TikTok, specifically because so many trends happen from it, and because it's always got there's so many viral moments, is even if you just have a platform where you monitor and you're seen as a lurker, or somebody who watches the content that happens, you can find the trends that are working really well, and then try and recreate them on the platforms that you are on the platforms that you want, so that you at least you're keeping abreast of current trends that are really engaging with Gen Z, or even older people who are engaged on the platform as well. So that's one thing I'd probably look for. I don't think there's any other questions though, so that's nice. Sometimes there's not a lot. First time for that, which is good. If you've got no more questions, then I will do my final thoughts and we will wrap up. So, my final thoughts: to TikTok, to tick or to talk, that is the question. Now, I say this, hopefully you've watched this presentation and it's given you an idea of how TikTok works. It's given you an idea about the importance of being authentic and creating reactive content. We've showcased to you how other arts and culture organizations are using the platform. TikTok is about creativity, and as a arts and culture sector, that is what we should be about. And I think that no other social media platform really shines a beacon on being creative like TikTok does. So if you're an organization who wants to change things up a little bit or wants to try and engage in new and exciting ways, then I would definitely recommend TikTok for you. Thank you very much for taking part and joining us today on today's webinar. Joe, thank you for joining me as well. I will be sending around this deck and a list of resources within the next few days for anybody anybody who'd like to know more or do some further reading or information on the platform. Just to let you know as well, obviously the Digital Culture Network is a free arts and culture sector initiative where we can offer free one-to-one consulting. We do webinars like this, and we have our brand new website where you can grab a whole load of resources and digital news and information. If you'd like to get in contact with us, please do drop us an email, and one of our 9 tech champions will get in touch with you to try and help you with your digital needs. Okay, you can get in contact with us here at the Digital Network at artscouncil.org.uk, or you can follow us on Twitter at ace_DCN. Okay, thank you very much. I do believe our next webinar is on the 1st of October, and it will be around e-commerce. The wonderful Emma Roberts will be doing a really good presentation about how you can start to generate income using e-commerce and digital marketing. Thanks everybody again, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.